Hey there, YouTube. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. It's a brand new year, 2022, so let's get right to it. I want to start the year out by kind of going back a little bit and starting to share some basic beginner stuff again. I think there's going to be a lot of new people hopefully tuning in. And there's always some people that, have not quite done as well as they wanted to do, and maybe you're kind of starting over or kind of taking a different approach. So anyhow, today I want to share with you my number one reason for a raw vegan diet. And if any of you out there aren't already subscribed to the channel, why don't you go down there and hit the subscribe button right now and come back and check out a little bit more of my content. Also, too, brand new year, let me just state categorically, everything I do on this channel is just simply my opinion, my 2 cents worth, as I see things. I don't think I'm necessarily the end-all be-all or an authority on anything, so once again, it's just my opinion. Number 2, don't take things so literally. Sometimes I feel handcuffed because if I say one thing, somebody will take it very, very literally. So anyhow, I'll try to be as clear and succinct as I can, but just kind of keep those things in mind. And this is one of those things right here. Literally, I would probably do this lifestyle for just this one thing. If this was the only benefit I got out of it, it would be enough for me to, follow this diet, eat the way that I do. But this is just one of many benefits that I've found from it over almost 10 years of doing a very high raw vegan diet. And I'll probably talk about some of the others in upcoming videos. But by far the thing that got me from day one and all along the way it still kind of surprises me sometimes is digestion and lack of bad digestion issues. Now, growing up, I grew up on a standard American diet in Alabama, so didn't eat the greatest. And I remember I look back and we were very much meat and potatoes, lots of meat. We weren't as big of a fried food family as a lot of people in the South, but nevertheless, we were probably just as unhealthy because I had a lot of steaks, and when we'd eat steak, and even as a little kid, steak, big baked potato with sour cream and butter a lot of times, a salad to make you think you were healthy, but so much bad fatty salad dressing on there wasn't very good. Anyhow, as a kid, I always had kind of a funky stomach. I remember going to school and not wanting to, you need to go to the bathroom. It's just not regular, but you needed to go a lot. And then I've had periods in my life where I've had, I've been stopped up a few times. And believe me, that is no fun. But once I started following this lifestyle, almost immediately, and let me just say for clarification, I didn't have bad digestion. For somebody that ate a standard American diet for so many years, most of my adult life wasn't really that bad. I didn't have any major stomach issues or any illnesses or things like that. But I still had the normal thing like everybody else. And one thing that always, I learned after I started following this diet is it's not just random. Like there's things besides just like how much, going to the bathroom regularly. There's other issues. There's heartburn. There's indigestion. I remember in the past, sometimes you just, for some reason, you'd eat something. I didn't know that much about food back then. And you would just have some of that, you just felt that burning, heartburn. Or you had indigestion, or you had bloating, or you had gas that was uncomfortable. Any of these things that go with digestion. But almost from day one of the things I noticed was just almost flawless digestion. I go to the bathroom regularly, every day. Everything that's always all right in that area. Now, what some people, I didn't experience this, but something that some people say that they experience in the beginning is they can feel a little bit bloated to get started. Even though I didn't eat great before I came to this lifestyle, I think I ate more fiber than the average person, and that's usually what trips people up when they come to this lifestyle. They're just not used to eating the amount of fiber that you're taking in, or they've never eaten that much real food, whole plant-based foods before. So sometimes there can be a little bit of bloating in the beginning, but you can, there's lots of information out there on kind of how to make that a little bit easier, and I'll probably talk about that in upcoming videos. But one thing I can tell you, the easiest thing I would say with that right off the bat from day one on this lifestyle that'll help you with that, in my opinion, is stay hydrated. Because the more hydrated you are, it's going to help you push that fiber through there. And it shouldn't take long before you kind of get used to processing and having this fiber. And then you're going to notice there's just going to be regularity. You'll probably figure out, you go to the bathroom or whatever your habits are, kind of maybe not at the exact same time or certain things every day, but you're going to notice a lot of regularity to it. And also this comes from eating, and what I just consider the basics of this lifestyle, not even just for the digestive purposes, is eating a whole food plant-based diet. Not just eating, just in other words, a wide variety. I always advocate eating a wide variety of stuff. I have lots of green smoothies. Lots of the things I feel like just kind of are almost like a broom that go through my colon and keep things moving all the time. I have lots of green smoothies. And when I make my green smoothies, I stuff as much kale in there as possible. And when I'm drinking my green smoothies, I'm not one to talk about a lot of, I'm not Mr. Science or whatever. I just know when I do this, what happens. When I don't do this, certain things happen. When I'm having my green smoothies regularly, everything is almost just like perfect. And like I say, I cram as much kale as I can in my green smoothies. In fact, I've got a technique. I'll do a video one of these again soon on my green smoothie. But what I do is I do a double blend on that. Like I'll blend up my bananas with a little bit of water to get it going. Then I cram as much kale as I can into my Vitamix. And I work it down with my tamper, blend that in. And then when that's blended in with the bananas, I take as much kale again as I can, and I pack it in there, and that kind of double blends in there, and you can get more in like that. Also, too, a big part of my day-to-day are big salads. On perfect days, on the days that I like the best, that I'm really clicking on all cylinders, I like to have one of my really big green smoothies, and I like to have a big salad. And in my salads, I put all kind of things that are also good for our digestion, good for our gut health. I'll usually start with a whole head of lettuce. Usually I like red leaf lettuce, but I'll use romaine, green leaf, different things. And another thing that I've found really good for the digestion, really good for the colon, is I chop up things very fine in my food processor and put in there that sometimes people don't necessarily eat because they find they're not the most agreeable with their stomachs. Two things that I love putting in my salads that I find really good for our digestive system is purple cabbage and broccoli. Now you might be saying, oh yeah, those things are terrible on my stomach, or I have issues when I have that. Well, when you chop it up like that, put it in, and I use a $25 Black & Decker food processor. Not super expensive, and that's one of the best. That's probably the best tool I have in my kitchen. I put my broccoli in there, and I chop it up pretty fine to where it's a little bit easier. If you have problems with that, you have bloating problems especially with the cruciferous vegetables, it helps. It's easier to digest like that. The same for the purple cabbage, and the purple cabbage is so good for your gut. I put sprouts in my salad, and I just feel like, with that big salad, with all those greens, with all those things and all that diversity, just keeps me regular as rain all the time. I do the smoothies, I do the big salads, and I focus on hydration. If you're new here and you come back and watch videos, you're going to hear me talking about hydration a lot. And it's sometimes easier said than done to say keep yourself fully hydrated, because I'm always struggling to drink more water. In the last month, I was getting kind of bad at it again, and I carry around a thing with me all the time now, so I will drink more. But it's going to help push things through, get that colon cleaned out, and eventually as you get, and once again, don't expect, if you feel any unpleasantness or it's not exactly right from day one, it is going to take a little while for your body to adapt to eating a whole different way. I mean, it's something that most people out there have never done before. But listen, and there's I'll recommend lots of different sources. Fiber Fueled is one of my favorite books, but there's lots of books on digestion out there. And I'll finish with this. I'm not a fanatic, but you can go to Google and you can search these particular keywords like raw vegan diet, food combining, and then go to images, because they'll give you some charts and they'll give you some basic food combining. That's another thing too. When people come to this lifestyle, sometimes beginners, they'll post their stuff and you don't want to burst their bubble by saying, no, that's ridiculous. But they combine some of the worst things. And sometimes even when we're eating healthy, if we eat these healthy things in the wrong combination, they can still give us a gut bomb. So if you want really great digestion, I'm telling you, almost 10 years, no complaints, no regrets, and my stomach just feels good about 99.8% of the time. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, like I said again, subscribe. And if you know anybody else out there that this info might benefit, share it around a little bit. And I will be back to you middle of the week. And until then, love each and every one of you. Peace.